Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. For this video, I'd like to discuss about the prerequisites for this series of tutorials. Now, as much as possible, I'll try my best to discuss everything for absolute beginners, but these prerequisites, if you have this, will surely help you at least with these tutorials, right? So first, from the Islamic studies perspective, as ideally you know how to read Arabic, of course, right? Or at least you have some background on history of the Quran, or say you've read some content of the Quran, for example. That will actually help you at least in this course. Second, this one is of course optional, but if you know how to use some software application, I think that one is very required. You don't have to know how to code or how to do some programming, but the expectation is that you know how to use some software, right? And further, you have not necessarily required, but if you have a high level idea of programming languages, any programming language, and then that would be good. It will really help you a lot, right, in this tutorial. Next, for mathematics, ideally you need to have a background in algebra, but I'd say again for this one I would say algebra might be might be required, because I don't really want to go into the nitty-gritty of algebra. But if you just have that idea, or at least you've taken this course in your college, for example, then I think that's enough already. If you know linear algebra and calculus, yeah, that would really help you a lot. But for this one, I'll try my best. As much as possible, we're not going to go into the very nitty-gritty of these topics, but let's see to what extent can we laymanize, or at least can we avoid this field of linear algebra and calculus, for example. The other piece from statistics, if you've done some introductory course on, or if you've taken some introductory course on probability, for example, then that would be an advantageous on your end for this course, or hypothesis testing, linear regression. But again, for this part, we will I will try my best to explain everything, right, for absolute beginners. But if you have some of this, then it will really help you a lot for this series of tutorial. So as for our coverage for this series of videos, we have four main parts. So first one is all about Islamic digital humanities, an introduction, high-level walkthrough of the tools that we're going to use, and so on and so forth. And then we're going to deep dive into the tool that we're going to use, which is Julia programming. So for this one, I'm going to teach you how to code in Julia from beginner to intermediate. And then after that, I'm going to teach you the statistics and machine learning at a very high level, I would say. But I'll try to deep dive into some of its components. I may come up with a separate series of tutorials on statistics and machine learning, but for this tutorial, I just want to, for Islamic digital humanities, for this particular series of tutorials, we're just going to touch it at a high level, right? And then we're going to reproduce some of the results that I have in my thesis, particularly on the text analytics of the Quran, maybe on the arithmetic analysis that I've shown you, or maybe in other results as well. But yeah, that's the coverage that I have for this tutorial. So see you in my next video. Assalamu alaikum.